So we're going to walk through how simple it is to get started with the MA Cross 3 foundation. So to begin, we're going to click File. Now I've opened this foundation before, which is why it's listed in this right-hand panel here. But if this is your first time opening a foundation in Sierra, you simply go over and click on Open Chart Book, and you can start typing ATS, and it will populate all of the foundations and models that you have access to in your tier. Because I've opened this before, I'm going to go ahead and click from the side panel. So we're loading the continuous future for our E-mini S&P 500 instrument. So we see that we have the 3 moving averages, we have our volatility and liquidity machine learning models, and our foundation loaded. So first, we're going to change our settings. So I right-clicked, I'm going to Studies, and we can see our fast, our medium, and our slow moving average. So let's update the values for these. So the slow moving average, let's change that maybe to 10. And for the medium, let's change that to maybe 5. And for the fast, we're going to change this moving average to 2. And I'm just selecting random values here. So next, we're going to look at our trade and risk management inside of our MA Cross 3 foundation. So there are a lot of different settings. And if at any point in time you want more detail into exactly what everything is and what it represents, you can simply click description here. This is going to open your browser, and you can see a complete study description, and you can see details about each input into the foundation. Okay, so we will use dynamic exiting, but we're going to exit based off of the medium moving average. And then we're going to use dynamic risk management. And we will keep on institutional flow, but let's move it. Let's change the sensitivity to low. And then for this one, we'll turn off volatility filtering. And then let's change our max give back trigger to 800. This is just the amount of P&L that once we're up, then it triggers our max give back. And our max give back is the maximum amount that we would like to give back in order, or if we give back this amount after being up our trigger amount, we stop trading. So we'll change that to 800, and we'll leave the max give back at 5. Okay, let's add a trailing stop. So we'll add our trail, and we'll just leave everything else as is. Okay. Now we're about ready to start our test. One other thing. So we're going to go to trade, down to trade activity log. That's going to populate this window. These are our statistics. So we can see different information, different stats for our back test. We will be able to see every trade that our system took over the period. We can see our period stats, a lot of other information. And now we go to chart, scroll down to replay chart, and pull up the replay control panel. We are going to leave it as single chart, and we want to ensure that it's the replay mode is set to accurate trading system backtest. We're going to click play, and we do want to clear all trade data for symbol and account. This is simply going to delete all of the prior backtest data for this particular symbol and this account, which we can see up in the upper left here where we are in account 12 or sim 12. We click OK, and our data is reloading, and we want to look back at our trade activity log. Let's minimize this. We want to pay attention to this QC right here in the upper left. The QC represents query counter, and it's the number of background processes that are happening. And we want to wait for that QC value to turn to 0. And when it does, we're ready to begin our back test. So it's at 0. So let's move this out of the way, and we can start our back test. So we just simply click play, and that starts our back test. And we can see our machine learning models, our volatility and liquidity models updating in real time. We can also see different spikes. Just a very quick visual observation. We can see spikes in volatility here. We can see spikes in liquidity and volatility here. And it's literally that simple to get up and running and begin testing your ideas, testing and experimenting toward the end of developing your own automated trading system.